A very dear friend of mine, Deathrace 2000, on Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. Stinker Madness. We got the Stinker Madness. Hello and welcome again to Stinker Madness. We just got done viewing Deathrace 2000. With us in studio, Stinker Studio number 4, we've got Mark again. How are you, Mark?
I'm good.
Good? Good?
I'm very good.
Good. I like your Less Than Shake shirt.
Thank you.
I especially like the Lego Men.
Ah, it's awesome.
Yeah, Lego Men are always cool. What are the minifigures? Is that what those are?
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know, they're cool.
Lego Men, whatever. And we have, for the first time, Chris, our good buddy who has exposed us to several stinkers in the past.
Including Elephant Dick Stinker.
Yeah, killer elephants on the Killer Rampage or something.
Kung Fu Elephants on a Killer Rampage.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah.
How are you, Chris?
I'm doing good today.
Good.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, well. So, as we said, we just got done doing Deathrace 2000.
Wait, what about the introductions for Sam the Man?
Oh, Sam, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah.
And I'll just introduce myself. Hi, this is Jackie. I'm back. Yes, that's right, people.
Hopefully your singing is going to be kept to a minimum today.
Well, there weren't a lot of songs in this movie.
No, I was kind of thinking that, actually, towards the end, like, the non-diegetic music is very minimum. Like,
yeah.
There's a couple
And it was super
backing
groovy.
tracks, but there's some of the funk, some of the 70s.
Hey, there was some classy violin in there.
One of the
That was diegetic music.
Oh.
Yeah.
There was a lot of inappropriate classical music in this movie.
Yeah, when people were dying, it was like, all right.
Violin's hard to build suspense with.
Yeah.
Indeed. So, it's a classic. It's, as I said yesterday, it's number 5 on my Hall of Fame list, and it's ground zero for getting on board with the stinkers, basically. So, that's what I have to say. What do you guys have to say?
America, blaming shit on France for at least 39 years now.
Yeah, the French get thrown under the bus pretty hard in this movie, and I don't know why. Like, what did the French actually do?
Blame shit on, ever since World War II, everything's the French.
No,
it's their fault.
I totally get that, but why in this movie? Like, they wrecked the phone system. We know that. We have confirmation that they've destroyed the phone system.
And the
in America.
economy.
And the economy.
And that really set back technology because everybody still had, CTR TVs and just...
Except for the gal who won the first kill, or the widow of the first kill. She won a 50-inch 3D Orgasmatron television.
It was a
And a 2-bedroom
stereophonic.
apartment in Acapulco.
Ah, yes. Yeah. So it's actually like...
But I think
And
that
all
in that
he had to
scene,
do was get stabbed in the dick.
Right.
Yeah.
He gets Gaddafi.
Yeah.
He takes a sword up his butthole.
Yep.
A giant wooden sword attached to a car.
It's more like a giant bayonet.
Quite
Yeah.
The end of what the car.
bayonet.
Yeah,
Quite
exactly.
frankly, that's what everybody should get for listening to an iPod while using a jackhammer.
Well, what else are you going to listen to?
Yeah.
The jackhammer?
I don't know.
Okay, so the first thing I noticed about this movie, before we get too far into the Gaddafi killings, it was like some 13-year-old had some colored pencil sets, and his dad was like really proud of the shit that he drew.
I love the beginning of the movie where it's just
We're gonna use your fist of lightning and your space city that you drew around a racetrack. Like, this is pretty sweet, kid.
I've never seen a movie that starts that way, where it's just some random drawings of...
Dead people in a car wheel?
Well, yeah, it's like the ass end of some child's drawing of a car with some random 70s
Dead guy in a
art,
hatchback?
like a kind of Andy Warhol-esque art.
It was a 70s LP album cover. That's really what it was.
Ah, yeah.
It does look like the cover of an LP.
It actually, if it wouldn't have been colored pencils and it would have been paintings, that the future city could have been the cover of an Asia album.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Colored pencils made all the difference. Because, they were all America fuck yeah in this movie. So they couldn't be having the Asian album.
Yeah, I forgot to bring my phone in. It's too bad because there's a specific artist that did all of the Asia albums that we should mention, and I can't now.
What?
The guy from the Asia albums. You just mentioned him.
Yeah.
But
Good job, Sam.
He's somebody.
Now we don't have to listen to more facts.
Random
Because there is too much to talk about that just kicked ass in this movie.
random Wikipedia facts. The Sam Show. Sam's random Wikipedia podcast.
That should be your own 0.5 episode.
Sam, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Some people like boring bullshit. It's a fact that she actually has rose-colored wallpaper in her bathroom.
What's her name?
Who's that?
Virginia Payne's granddaughter has a rose-colored helmet.
Yeah, she has a rose.
She had a rose in her helmet, yeah. Which
tulip. Whatever
weird.
that thing was.
Yeah, I think it was more of a tulip.
Yeah.
And then,
Frankenstein. And then Tulip Queen.
They never really go anywhere with why. Like, she doesn't have a nickname, like
She's
the
the
rose
navigator.
or the flower. She's just the navigator. I'm not
her
even
name
sure
is
what her name
Anne.
Anne.
Because
Anne.
when the rear prop plane is chasing him, the future plane that is then labeled the French Air Force,
The entire French Air
the
Force.
pilot
In the future, the French have one crappy airplane.
yeah, the like resistance left-hand man says to the grandma that they killed Anne.
Oh.
I've seen the movie 5 times, and it's the first time I noticed that her name is Anne.
Anne Payne. Well, Virginia Payne is the grandma.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's supposed to be like a play on like Thomas Paine.
Virginia Woolf.
Maybe, yeah, like a...
Thomas Kincaid. Gustav Klimt? No. Probably not.
That was weird.
So let's go to the opening scene,
started
because I really
raving
want to talk about the opening scene with the master of ceremonies there, who has obviously stolen somebody's Pope outfit and then glued on some shiny fists or something.
Yeah,
And
the lightning bolt fist.
Yeah,
fist.
which is the new American flag in this movie. Like, we no longer like stars and stripes. Now we have a Russian-colored flag with metallic paint.
Well, it had the fist, and it still had the stripes.
Yeah, it's not the stripes, it's just the
It was the American. What was it? It wasn't states anymore. It was.
America Power flag. No, I believe.
I
wait,
thought
I
it
wrote
was
this
the-
down.
I thought
the
America
president
was-
says America is now the no holds barred, which we watched,
Right?
with a fist of lightning bolt from the flag. And then he does the little fist thing. He's like, "We are America is
He white
no
powers it.
holds barred." And I was like, "That's a movie that starred."
Well, I don't think No Holds Barred is a movie. I think it's a saying. I'm pretty sure it was a saying long before Hulk Hogan.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure though. But my immediate thought was, Hulk Hogan probably stole that from this movie. He's like, "Dude, we're gonna make a
No.
movie."
I think a lot
I'm
of things.
stealing
Pretty
this.
popular saying.
Yeah, no holds barred's pretty popular.
Yeah. It's not quite over the top,
Eh.
which is actually also another saying.
And did
So
anybody
does that mean
else?
that there's no grappling? Is that it's a boxing term? No holds barred. You have to punch each other. Is that what that's all about?
No, that's. Oh,
I would be willing. I think that's a fair analysis. I think that's a good logical reason behind that saying.
and really, they should be doing it that way because most of these people in this movie had like
Or-
the most fucked up teeth I've ever seen. So a few punches in the face, maybe some dentures for some of these people, probably would have worked out
Or
pretty well.
would it be the opposite of what I just said? That like, because boxing has the Marcus of Queensberry rules, and so if no holds is part of that, if the no holds are then barred, then anything goes.
It could also have something to do with
Knock
maybe
their teeth out!
the American Revolution with embargoing. That trade embargo. It's a hold on shipments, and the American revolutionists are saying,
Down.
"No holds barred, you sons of bitches, British sons of bitches."
No, they don't
I
take punch.
highly doubt.
Throw it all in the harbor.
The listening audience probably has every idea what this is about. Like, man, these guys are idiots.
They're now just coming to that consensus.
I was on board with these guys before this.
All right, let's move on. We got a race to win.
We're racing. So speaking of the intro, I've got to read this. The introduction to Frankenstein by Harold, who is the Andy Samberg guy. Apparently, his name is Harold with the kerchief. Is that a kerchief or a
It looked
Ascot.
ascot?
I think it was
It was
ascot.
actually a scarf.
Yeah, scarf.
Because
A
at
lady
the end,
scarf.
when they picked it up, it was just a
Oh, that's true.
it was just a silk
It
scarf.
was a simple wrap around the neck. Yeah.
with lots of fluff.
Yes.
Yeah.
pouring out of
And that
his
guy
shirt.
totally looks like Andy Samberg, I swear.
I think he kind of looks like Fred from Scooby-Doo.
Probably his dad.
Yeah, it's both.
Yeah.
His dad was like, my dad was a famous actor
If they ever
in
remake-
Deathrace 2000.
If they ever remake this...
Well, I'm sure he's somebody's dad.
You don't know that. His balls could have been chopped off in this movie.
Maybe. Well, either way, this is how it goes. As the cars roar into Pennsylvania, the cradle of liberty, it seems apparent to our citizens that our citizens are staying off the streets, which may make score... Oh, that's not it at all.
There you go, bunghole.
Yeah, Frankenstein! Frankenstein the legend! Frankenstein the indestructible! Sole survivor of the Titanic pileup of 95! Only two-time winner of the Transcontinental Road Race! Frankenstein! Ripped up, wiped out, battered, shattered, creamed and reamed! A dancer on the brink of death! Frankenstein, who lost a leg in 1998, an arm in 99, with half a face and half a chest and all the guts in the world! He's back.
But don't forget, he
favorite
also
line in the whole movie.
survived the Titanic pileup of 95.
That's right, which I just said. While you were playing with a pen.
I was
instead
trying to
of
blind
listening.
you
Yeah.
with the flashlight on the end of it.
Yeah, this is a podcast. People can't see you doing those things.
I thought it was funny.
Huh.
Okay, so Frankenstein, you know, when they told me that the guy's name was Frankenstein, I was kind of expecting, you know, some ugly fucker with lots of scars.
So you thought he was the beautiful reveal of
Wait.
David Carradine was a beautiful man?
David Carradine is dreamy?
This is no. But this is what I wrote down, is that Frankenstein comes out, right? And the first time you kind of see him, he looks like an S&M guy who's
Yeah,
about
he's
ready
dressed
to
like
rape
the Gimp.
somebody.
Yeah, he's dressed like
right
the Gimp.
in the butthole.
Super Gimp because he's
That's
wearing
why
a cape.
during the second sex scene,
Super-
he
yeah,
keeps
yeah.
the mask on. I still think there's a part of that in
Yeah,
there.
That creepy grin.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can see that. I can
Oh,
see
yeah.
it. Is it a creepy grin, or is it just, I'm showing my teeth because
Well,
I'm more machine now than man?
Yeah, but that was only in the beginning of the movie. He quit that about halfway through.
So that's just David Carradine's smile?
I think. Well, no, I think that
Toothy
was
grin.
that grin was part of his whole facade of
Yeah.
Frankenstein, which apparently wasn't true.
Because in other Carradine movies, he doesn't smile very much. He just sort of tilts his head sideways and walks around slow.
And maybe says 4 or 5 lines.
Yeah.
But you know that Frankenstein, according to this movie, he was engineered by the American government to be the best death racer ever.
Ever.
And that
Wow.
there's somebody in the ranks that's going to come up after him, which is why he has to wear the S&M suit. Because when he, is no longer able to race, then they're going to bring in the next dude.
Yeah.
So, sequel. Why not?
Yeah.
Why wasn't there?
Because
isn't
the
there
Nazi
Deathrace
swastika
2001?
sweetheart,
Matilda the Hun.
yeah, she really was stealing the show for me.
She was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
she
know,
was.
I was
she was
kind of
great.
disappointed when...
Killed too early.
Yeah.
I
Because I'm
thought-
like, dude, that would have been a pretty good... all of the women's in this movie that were racers died.
Well, it is...
Everybody dies except for Frankenstein and Anne.
Right.
Everybody dies.
It is
and Annie
interesting
gets shot and doesn't die. It's
about
like, what
the
the
women
hell?
because it's kind of like an exploitive film because there's lots of nudity and the navigators are
boobs.
supposed to give blueies to the drivers, but at the same time, women play a really strong role in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is very equal.
Well, that was the thing. It was that the women are supposed to give blueies to the drivers, and then the men that are navigators are supposed to give.
Yeah, they're fluffers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fluffers?
Yeah.
Isn't a fluffer the
Fluffers.
No, fluffers and
Porn.
porn, that person that
Right,
keeps the
right.
or penis erect.
No, that's a Hummer.
No.
No,
That's a fluffer.
That's a fluffer.
that's a fluffer.
So the Hummers.
A Hummer is just the name of a blowjob.
No, I thought there was fluffers and Hummers. To keep
I've never heard
keep
of
things
Hummers.
lubricated, they had to.
I think they just use lube to keep things lubricated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like they're like, spit guy!
Stunt cock.
spit guy. So there's fluffers and spit guys.
Apparently. Yeah, because fluffers keep things going, and the Hummer is the finished product.
You have to if you're a spit guy, you have to drink a lot of milk. It's mucus forming.
Oh my god. Spit guy!
He's got a tummy ache because he's down to half gallon of vitamin D.
The porn industry is just...
I'm lactose intolerant, but I really need a job.
It's so decimated by the internet. That
Damn the economy.
they can't afford KY.
Stupid French.
It's cheaper to just get a spit guy.
Apparently, yes, the economy was ruined by the French with the telephone system.
Yes. So now the porn guys have to drink milk instead of just buying.
But
KY.
it's interesting that the women play such a strong role, but like you were saying, that there is zero minorities in this movie.
Right.
Zero. Like,
they touch on that at the
Stallone's
end.
the
Don't they?
most...
Yeah, they touched that because he talks about abolishing that.
Right. But why have that
Where are they, though?
at all?
So apparently,
Like, they're not anywhere in this movie. Like,
None.
We just have them off in, like...
Camps.
Yeah, camps, concentration camps.
I was surprised
Oh,
they didn't
you're-
have
There's
like
probably-
They wear
minority.
paper, you know, they've got one of those paint things, like, you know, when you're getting ready to paint your house, and you're not quite sure what shade
Yeah.
you should paint that wall. So they've got one of those, and then they're like...
That's actually a Family Guy reference. They pull him over and it says, okay, and then it goes darker and it goes to not okay, and he's like, you're good to go.
Yeah, but on the bottom of it, it would have, like, your camp number, and they're like... You just put it up next to your cheek and be like, camp number 4.
Well, apparently with the world crash of '79, this movie, you know, the sexes became equal because we have women drivers and men drivers, and throughout the movie we've got equal roles in the media, and maybe not so much the government because there's only one president, but no minorities.
Who has a
at all.
palace in... Where?
China.
Apparently on
Beijing?
Mount Doom.
Yeah.
There's this lovely staircase with chunks missing, and it's like all shiny at the top and
Glowing. It's kind of like...
Yeah.
It's
I think they actually used that.
Xanadu at the top of Mount Doom.
It's a clay sculpture, and I think they used it in Planet Terror as well.
I think it's a masterpiece of color pencil drawings.
No.
Once
At least the
again...
concept.
So speaking of movie props, we're going to segue into the cars here because I do want to talk about the cars because it at its core it is a car movie, and every petrol head should have seen Deathrace 2000. Like, you can't be a car guy and not be into that movie at all. So,
Ooh, let's go around the room and say what favorite cars we had first.
okay. Well, I'll bring it up. The Frankenstein car was a Corvette, which is very easily identifiable. Matilda the Huns was
Wait.
a Carmen
And it was
Dia
painted like
alligator.
an alligator with alligator teeth in the front.
It's called the Monster. Matilda the Huns was a Manta Mirage, Machine Gun Joe the Turbo, and I love that he's
Matilda
Mr.
the Huns was the
Turbo.
Carmen Gia.
Matilda the Hun. Oh, Calamity Jane's was a Manta Mirage,
Manta.
and
But the Nazi car, the Attila the Hun, she had a nuke on the top of her car.
no, I think it's like
It's
a
a
JATO
cannon.
rocket.
A cannon. Okay, or a rocket or
I
something.
think it's a rocket.
See, I think you should tell people what the cars look like, too.
Okay, we'll get
He's
into that.
trying to. You keep interrupting him.
Machine Gun Joe the Turbo has a black Manta Mirage, which I want to talk about the Manta Mirage for a brief second. I just want to mention that if you don't know what a Manta Mirage is, Hardcastle and Cornup's car was a Manta Mirage. It's a kit car. You build it in your garage. They're sweet as shit. And
huge
It's based
stripe on
off
the
of
front.
a McLaren 5.
yes, it is. And then I can't. Who's the
Smaller
Roman guy's
wheelbase,
name?
though.
Who's the Roman guy's
Nero
name?
the Hero.
Nero the Hero was a Fiat Spider.
And I was like, because I saw it at first, and I was like, is that a Pinto? But then, knowing from experience,
I thought it was a rabbit.
one cannot actually cut the roof off of a Pinto, just so I know from
Yes.
experience, they have a
Yes.
uniframe and they'll sink into themselves. So,
And chop your head off if you hit a bump.
blood on the highway.
Which Sam and I hit several bumps, and it's amazing that we have heads still.
They got rear-ended in that car, and they're supposed to blow up in those circumstances. So,
I got rear-ended 3 times in that car.
yeah, it's amazing that either one of us are still alive.
Great car. God, that was a great
It
car.
was a good car.
Really underrated. My favorite car is the Monster. I love the Monster. I love the fact that it's a Corvette, and that it was probably the most expensive car. Actually, I don't know. Those Manta Mirages can't be cheap. Kit cars usually aren't very cheap.
No, they're
usually
not.
to get into one, you're looking at 20K. New.
Now, then probably 10.
Right.
But still, that's a lot
That's
of
a
money.
lot of fucking money. And what do you think was the price of a 75 Stingray at that point? 8, 9?
8, 9.
Yeah. They're not cheap. Not cheap. With a $300,000 budget, and then you got to have a couple of them, and then to throw all the bullshit on top of it, not cheap. So I love the Monster. That's my favorite.
I liked the Calamity Jane's Bull car. That's my
The
favorite.
Bull car's pretty silly. I like that it has eyes.
Yeah. The whole thing, I just love it.
Which we should also mention one of
And
the
big
other
horns in the front.
great line that when they named the bowl, they only got it half right.
Yeah.
Great line. That's fucking funny. Jackie, you wanted to say which was your favorite?
Yes.
Yes,
Today?
I do. I like the bull car too because it had horns and little eyes and it kind of looked like a cow.
It's got the nose ring.
Yeah,
Why do bulls have nose rings? Anybody?
so that you can control them.
Like you hook
Like,
them up to a
you
trailer
grab
or
them
something?
Wrangling.
and shake their face.
Is it an
with-
ox thing?
Right.
Because an ox is a bull, but maybe if it's
little more
pulling a
docile.
cart...
It's a
Well,
dominance
if
thing.
it's pulling a cart, it's an
I'm-
ox. If it's not, it's a bull.
I am not really sure that the toughest men are prepared to walk up to a bull and start pulling on its snoot.
Nose ring.
I think that's not going to do anything. I think you're going to get smushed.
I think you're going to get speared. Which speaking of
Gored.
which, and
It's
gored.
gored, yeah.
But you know the reason I like the bull car the most was because her first victim is some douchebag in a matador outfit with a cape and a red
So
shirt,
Toro,
you know?
and he kept saying it. Toro.
Yeah, and then he would jump out of the way, and then he was like,
he didn't jump out of the way.
he was
just
bullfighting
spun.
It was
with a
bullfighting,
car,
yeah.
and
It
it was
was
freaking
great.
awesome. And then she finally gored him.
The clever factor in this movie, like we're having fun writing this shit, is at a 9. Like whoever, I could just see the group of people in the conference room just having fun, drinking whiskey, smoking cigars, and making up silly bullshit. I think it's great. That's
True.
I think that this is exactly what movies should be.
What
Have
about-
fun.
What about you, Chris? What did you think? Best car?
Best car of the monster.
The monster's
It was
sweet.
just so nice to look at.
Mark?
I actually like the Nazi car, not because it was special or anything. It was so understated. It looked like a German Fokker with the camo on the side.
German
and
Fokker?
Yeah,
It's a German Fokker.
the airplane.
They're called
Fox
Fokkers.
German.
Yeah,
called
yeah.
Fokkers.
Because there's actually like Meet the Fokkers. It's a real last name. The guy really made planes.
Yep.
How about that?
How about that?
But
I
all
thought
the
they were
cars in this movie are
Messerschmitts.
super over the
That's
top,
the
and
whole
other than the jet on the top of that car,
No,
it's
the
just this
Luftwaffe.
gray painted, nondescript. killing
Kind of looked like
machine.
a Nazi helmet on the front with the one spike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so the whole, and I like that they had the other German symbol, the cross, and
Yeah,
not
the Iron
Nazi
Cross.
symbol. Yeah, exactly.
I think
so
it's called the Iron
you know,
Cross.
all of their
Yeah.
fans have the Nazi symbol, and they don't really go into that with
Why are Nazis acceptable again in the future?
because
Because
minorities
the
are not.
minorities.
Oh, I'm sorry. God, I would suck in the future.
But I did like that car. It was nice.
Well, some fun facts.
I think mine would have been the favorite. Would have been Sylvester Stallone's if the guns would have been able to fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then that would have been like hands down
Yeah.
stealing the show.
That
Right.
knife in the front was so stupid, though. 'Cause it was obviously
The car bayonet.
plastic or wood. That
It
It was
Yeah.
wood.
And
You
it
could
was
see the
brush
wood grain.
painted too.
It was
when
like
I got
oak.
close to it. It was like you airbrushed the shit out of all these cars, and you get to this knife and you paint it with a fucking brush. Nice
Yeah.
work.
So
And it wasn't even a smooth paint job. It looked like somebody had almost kind of dipped it, maybe rolled it around the paint a little bit and stuck it
Yeah, it's
on.
like it had brush marks all over it. Like, ugh.
in 2001 or 2011, I'm sorry, a Volo Auto Museum in Illinois auctioned off the monster. It went for $19,000.
Oh wow, that's
Not very much.
not very
money.
much.
Yeah.
But now a guy named Jay Orberg, who has a website, jayorberg.com, has the monster and the bull. And the bull is currently for sale. It doesn't say a price, but the bull is for sale. So if you would like to own a piece of
Cinema history.
cinema history, the bull is currently for sale.
And run over small children in your neighborhood, which are worth, I believe, 40 points?
70.
70.
70.
No, the old
Under-
people were 70.
Yeah.
No, old
children-
people were
old people were
over 70 was
Toddlers
100,
were,
under
yeah.
12 was 70.
Folks,
And
the reason
infants-
why we're confused is because in the year 2000 they changed up the point scale.
Yeah.
They're all trying
What
to
was
catch
wrong with
up.
1999's?
I don't know.
Shit.
Yeah.
Why the rule changes? So, yeah, it seems cheap. $20K. You know?
Yeah, it's like the same thing with Carson's Corvette. That went too low too.
Too low. I mean, it's still, it even
And it wasn't just
strip it all away, it's still a fucking Stingray.
Yeah, and in Carson's Corvette, it wasn't just that. Sure, it's a Corvette, but it was his favorite car.
Right.
How much did that go for?
$15K.
Yeah, Johnny Carson's favorite car went for $15,000.
Yep, they had it on the show.
It is
times.
the least desirable
How much
Corvette,
would
but
your favorite
still,
car go
It's a
for?
C4
that you
convertible.
own, Sam? $500?
That's what the Bronco sold for. It lost a cylinder. It didn't run, and it still sold for $500.
Way to go, dude.
I sold my favorite car for $300, so...
Or unless the Pinto was your favorite car, the
No.
Bobcat.
No.
You sold that to me for $50, and then we took a Sawzall to it.
That's right. I'm not even sure if I ever saw that $50.
Oh, I gave you the $50.
All right, well...
If that's with interest
covered.
now, what is that, like $75?
Actually, I think that
Inflation, you mean?
Yeah.
I think that you said 50, and I gave you 45, and we just called it good.
I think that's fair.
And a taco.
No, the taco stayed in the glove box.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
That's
it
actually
just,
why
it just goes with the
he
car.
got promised a sandwich back then.
It's like British license plates. you don't take out the taco. It just stays in the glove box. Yeah. So
Let's go to when we first see Frankenstein's face in the car. With
David
his,
Carradine is actually dreamy.
Right, because he's
This
giving
is like
this
the
big
second time that
speech.
you've really made a deal of this, so I think that you do feel that
Well,
David
yeah, he's
Carradine
like-
is dreamy.
Okay, so he had this like S&M mask on, and like you can see around his eyes, and there's all this scarring and shit. And you're just thinking they're gonna take off this mask, and this guy's just gonna be like. And he even gives this big speech about like I'm like hideously deformed, and I've got a left nut that's growing on my chin, and blah blah blah. And he's talking about how he's just all fucking mangled up. And then she pulls off this mask, and it's like, oh, he's like a regular person.
There's a whole
Like, he's
reveal,
ugly.
like, a whole reveal with the music.
Yeah, there's
escalates.
a heart.
Yeah.
And just before he stops
It's
her,
Carradine.
I just want to let you know
hideous.
that whatever you do is on you.
Yeah, and like she's gonna be horrified, and then just throw herself out of the car out of desperation. She's like, I am not being your fluffer tonight. Like, no fucking way. If your face looks like that, I can't imagine what your pee-pee looks like. Like, is that thing all mangled and scarred? But no, she takes off the mask. He looks like a regular person, so she's probably like,
Kind of.
maybe he's got a hooked
He looks
penis.
like David Carradine.
Yeah, he looks
He
like
does
David
not look like a
Carradine.
normal person.
But she's probably thinking at this point, okay, his dick probably is not a swirly straw. Maybe tonight will be okay.
Well, there was
Except for-
mention later
You
of
put
other.
far too much thought into this.
Oh, I did. I thought about it throughout the whole movie. What does this guy's dick look
You're
like?
like-
He's supposed to be like the bionic man. He just gets down there and grabs his balls. Pump it!
You've
Pump
married.
it! And then this thing gets big. Like a Nike shoe.
It's a handyman jack. Like you have to really get a lot of leverage here.
He's like, you want some action? Pump it!
You're going to need to bring in somebody else. I like David Carradine's back hair, but it's more like his ass hair that's grown up above
It's
his
where
ass.
a lot of women get what is called the tramp stamp. The
Yeah, he's
small
got-
of his back, he just has like a little tuft of hair.
Like a
It's like,
mole.
hey, it's weird.
like
Like,
it's
a
long.
rabbit. It's like a rabbit tail in the wrong spot.
It's
Yeah, it's like
long
his butt hair like grew up,
It's
and
like
then they were
it's
like,
his ass's comb over.
yeah, they're like, we're gonna do something with this, and then they combed it up above his pant line, and they were like, sexy.
And it is combed like an eagle's wings.
It is. It's weird. It
Majestic
looks like-
ass comb over.
Like maybe they put some hairspray in it to make it look good. And they were like, dude, we gotta work with
He
this.
is the weirdest looking dude. Him and Peter Fonda are just so.
Which is
so
odd
strange.
because Peter Fonda was offered the part.
I know. You couldn't. Who else could you get for that role at that point in time?
Yeah, but Peter
Chris
Fonda,
Christopherson.
if they would have taken off
Yeah.
the mask, and then she would have been like, oh, I'm just gonna put this shit back on. Like, I just want to look at the weird scar that's around your eye.
They probably could have got a hold of Hopper.
I was
They
thinking Dennis
probably-
Hopper, but he's a little short.
He is short.
He's short.
They probably couldn't get a mask big enough for Peter Fonda's fucking forehead.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's just such a weird looking dude.
It would have added $10 to the budget to cover his face. So
They only had
Giant
300,000,
forehead.
not 300,000, $10.
$10. That's right. Well, Corman is notorious for saying, "This is the budget. Any more money you want, you got to go get it yourself."
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to give it to you. I'm not even going to buy you sandwiches. Just go make a goddamn movie. Get out of my office.
Be back here in 3 weeks.
Oh, and send me pictures of tits.
Tits.
Yeah, he's
I wanna-
really
I
involved
wanna
in the
cast
women
can.
casting. He's like, I'm there. The dudes, I don't fucking care. Get that ugly dude and then put the face thing over him. And it'll be like,
Corman's notorious for booby movies, but he's actually not. His nudity ratio is actually only at about 10%. for all of his movies. It's just that he's made so many fucking movies that 10% it seems like a shitload of booby
That his
movies.
he's done some real booby movies, but he's no Russ Meyer.
That's true.
Okay, so for a guy though that has seen obviously a lot of boobies, what the hell was up with the main actress's nipples?
I didn't really have
It
a
was
problem with her
"Bam!"
tits.
I thought
See,
she should have
that's-
kept her shirt on.
Me too.
I think I've seen so many tits now that I'm just like, you know what? They're all different. It's like snowflakes.
That was beautiful, Sam. That was beautiful.
God works in wonderful and mysterious.
Yes.
It's
I
all
was
just
kind of
handiwork.
like, oh, those are some ugly boobs.
I love when she's on the bed and she has to cross her leg to block her vagina from being shown. Because what's that going to
She's
cost?
like a contortionist.
And
her entire
she's
back
so
pops
uncomfortable.
turned so far.
So uncomfortable. She's got her leg, her knee is almost up to her face to cover up the vagina. It's like the Hollywood stretch that we used to do in high school. And
Hollywood stretch?
yeah, we call it the
high school
Hollywood.
did
because
you
it
go
looks
to?
so
Hey,
cool.
I was in Colorado and we had the exact same thing. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Okay,
alright.
so me and Mark did not learn the Hollywood stretch. Go on.
You look cool. You look like you should have a cigarette. Chilling out on the beach saying, hey, ladies, check out this sweet
Don't
action."
check out this sweet action because it's covered by my leg.
That's right. That's right.
Pinched in between.
Yeah, so
It's
her,
tucked
her
behind,
knee
ladies.
is all the way up to her chin, and then he has like
He
grabs
forces
her.
like his arm is forcing her knee to stay on the bed, and then she
She's
is
pinned.
able to basically turn in half backwards.
And then raise her body,
Yeah.
her torso to smooch him.
She would be looking at her own ass if he wasn't there.
Pretty much.
Like in Spaceballs, why didn't somebody tell me my ass was so big?
You know, though, she could be like, dude, I bleached my own asshole.
Hey, look at that.
I don't know if they did that in the 70s.
I looked at my.
I think
I don't know. I
think
think
that
it's
was a
kind of a
thing.
new
They had
thing.
better sense than that.
Yeah, like, why do you bleach your asshole? Like, really? It burns! It burns! Like, what the fuck were you thinking? It's an asshole.
We should not get near that.
Who the hell is down there going, that's a nice bleached asshole?
Like some.
Why are we
doctor should-
talking about this?
Because I'm
And you're not
confused.
supposed to use real bleach, just so.
Yeah.
Public service announcement there.
So let's just recap a little bit. Full movie, yes. Or full nudity, yes. Boobs, yes. Butts, yes. Vagina, no. That's all you really need
No,
to know.
you can't.
Well, no, when they were on the massage tables, the bowl lady, she jumped up off the massage table trying to pick shit with the other
I
one.
think I saw some beef.
And you could see
You
her,
can show beef.
her beef.
So her hair.
According
Yeah,
to
like you
the
saw it.
I'm gonna have to watch that scene again.
And then she pulls the towel over real fast.
The MPAA says you can show dinger, but you cannot show labia. If you show labia in a movie, it becomes NC-17.
Well, this was before NC-17, though.
Well, all you saw was the
She would have
bush.
been X, and
Yeah, it would have been X.
which, whatever, Midnight Cowboy, rated X,
Yeah.
not NC-17.
Is there labia in that, or is it just dong?
I think it was they broke minutes of you can only
Like,
have so
dong.
much, and then the subject matter as well. So like there was a multitude of reasons, but they're like this is rated X.
And it's kind of weird because I've seen that movie.
I was expecting it to be a porno, and it is
I was
not.
expecting it to be a porn.
It
It's-
is not.
It's pretty tame. It's a really good fucking movie.
Yeah. The rating systems are messed up.
The MPAA.
Oh yeah,
can go
that's the
kiss my
thing. You
ass.
know, it's like one exploding hooker, 100 exploding hookers. What's the difference? The limit to get a rated R film by the MPAA is 10 exploding hookers. No more than 10. They have a quantity of exploding hookers. That's how specific their rating system is.
I'm just saying at the top end they don't have enough ratings. Because you went and saw Midnight Cowboy thinking it was porn was rated X, but it wasn't. So there needs to be...
like a disclaimer. Like,
Yeah,
they're
there
not
needs
going
to
to
be-
There needs to be a category of there's lots of really bad things in this movie, but it's not a porn.
Because you can be rated X and have, you know, sort of object violation or an Academy Award winning film in the same category, which is kind of ridiculous. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Like they say in South Park, hideous, deplorable violence is okay just as long as you don't use any naughty words.
That's right.
Damn shame.
Yeah.
Fucking French. It's their fucking fault.
It is.
Goddamn sons of bitches.
It reminds me that I need to start calling them freedom fries again.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot.
And I'm totally out on buying Nissans. I'm boycotting those bastards because they're owned by the frogs.
Are they?
Freedom toast.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
Nissan's owned by
Freedom
Renault.
toast.
You know what? I'm not going to
Freedom
buy a
Toast
Nissan
Crunch.
because they're pieces of shit.
I am not going to buy a Nissan because they're pieces of shit.
I've owned a Datsun. Never again.
Yeah. Yeah. They recalled all of their own car at one point. They said, nobody can have this car.
This car.
It is such a piece of shit. Give it all back to us. We'll give you your money back.
Okay, so one of my favorite parts of this movie, I'm going to bust in here because we're kind of getting a little off track.
Oh, that's fine.
Was when they have geriatrics day at the old folks' home.
Geriatrics, euthanasia day at the geriatrics.
Thank you.
There you go.
Where they're at this Mercy Hospital and they're just wheeling the old folks down the road. They're like, yeah, old folk points.
You know, they kind of made it, across the road. You think they would have lined them all up in a straight line.
More points that way.
Yeah.
A little less damage.
I was hoping he was going to do like a side spin into them all and wipe them all
Now,
out.
that would have been cool. Not in their budget.
No, side spins. He was not that good of a
Sam.
driver.
But the plot twist there was delightful.
No, at the end, the whole
At the hospital.
that he doesn't
yeah.
taco the old people, because you do expect him to taco the old people.
Right.
And I love that the old people are like
They're not
either on
not
drugs
sad,
or
not
they're happy to be outside. It's like
Right.
Yeah.
it's nice
The
out
sun
here.
feels so nice.
Well, I was actually thinking about it because they have them kind of lined up and there's no possible way that you're going to be able to run over all of them.
Right.
Oh, you can do it.
And
you
could do a power slide and
That's
get
what I'm
about
saying,
80% of them.
Right.
But I was thinking, well, if they did line them up, that thing would have got high-centered on old people. So it's really just like...
Well, I was thinking those wheelchairs are going to cause
You could get all of them.
Exactly. The undercarriage.
That's
you're
a
gonna get all
Corvette.
in
That's
there.
fiberglass.
Yeah.
And the wheelchair is going to go right through the middle of that.
If you did 2 passes, you could probably get them all, but...
Maybe old people are like bowling pins and there's collateral damage, like the wheelchairs, taco, and that's an interesting scoring question.
Right.
If
If collateral damage, do you get points?
I would imagine that you do.
It's just as
So you could actually, like, run into a large, like, a set of dominoes or whatever, like human dominoes. I think that would count. Provided everybody died.
I think that there's some problems with the scoring system. I'm going to be honest.
Yeah?
I don't like the fact that running over your own navigator only gets you 20 points. It's just the same as a normal woman.
Yeah.
I think your own navigator, I think that those should be like 100 points.
Maybe there was some inverted sexism in this movie because weren't women worth more than men?
Oh,
They
yeah.
are. They're worth an extra 10 points.
Yeah,
There's
man,
10
a
points.
grown man under 70 is
Or
worth
does that
10
say
points.
that men are devalued in society?
I thought women were worth 30 and men were worth 10.
No, they're worth 20.
Okay.
Because it's plus 10, an extra 10 points with the new rule changes.
Ah.
And when she's standing in front of the car, Anne, he's like, I could take you out right now and get 20 points.
I thought he said 30.
Yeah, I thought he said 30 too.
I'm willing to bet it's 20 points.
But I also
I'm
thought that
willing
when
to bet.
if he was to run over his own navigator, there's probably a point difference between a normal woman and a navigator. So perhaps the normal woman is worth 20 and a navigator would be worth 30. Because it's your navigator, so it should be worth some extra points.
Well, to recap the revisions, the 2000 revisions, women are still worth 10 points more than men in all age brackets, but teenagers now rack up 40 points. Toddlers under 12 now rate a big 70 points. The big score, anyone, any sex, over 75 years old has been up to 100 points.
No.
Doesn't necessarily say anything about what value men or women are, per se.
Well, when Sylvester Stallone cut off the guy at the beginning, he is awarded 10 points.
Right, so they're worth 20 points. Women are worth 20 points because they're worth 10 more than men.
And I'm assuming that a navigator's worth 30.
Do you think the whole, like, remember when you're a kid and you still kind of do it, but, like, you see somebody walking down the street and you're like, 10 points.
That's probably where it came
I
from.
would be
Yeah.
willing to bet.
I would be willing to bet that this is where that came from.
This is a
And you
really
always knew
big
that
deal.
old people were more.
This,
you always knew
Always knew
Yeah.
that. And
Yeah.
kids, children. And especially teenagers. I kind of think they should ramp the score up on the teenagers.
Yeah,
Just
the
get rid of those
infants and
guys.
children, they could have been the 40 points, and then the teenagers, 70 points.
Yeah, 70 points for a teenager. No
And if they
problem.
had weird colored hair, piercings,
They were wearing skinny jeans.
Or
It was
if they're-
120
Oh,
points.
yes!
or if they're talking at all, if they open their mouth once,
other than a
extra 10
scream,
points.
as the car runs them over.
no, I don't want to hear them at all. I just don't want to hear teenagers. Just
Oh, but-
shut up. Shut up.
But you know what I
Shut
did
up.
notice? What
To
I
all
just
those
thought
teenagers listening now, we love you.
No.
of? No.
No, no, we don't. Sorry.
Quit listening, you damn teenagers. Go get a fucking job, you worthless pieces of shit, and quit being so goddamn entitled.
And pull your pants
Get
off.
off
And
our
pull your
lawn.
fucking pants. Get off the goddamn lawn.
Why are you staring at me? I'm just trying to buy a taco.
With money that was earned by good, honest labor. Not asking your fucking parents for money, you pieces of shit. And comb your hair.
All right, we don't have time for this.
Okay.
We got a race to win.
Okay, so I just had this thought. Okay, so Sylvester Stallone gets the first points, right, for Gaddafiing somebody.
Yeah.
And then, when he runs down the fisherman later in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
he does a wheelie on that guy's balls. Like, that car was the dick destructor. That's what they should have called that car. Because, like, almost everybody he killed that you got to see was, like, penis area kill.
I think that you've just named it, because I don't think that they ever say Mr. the Turbo's car's name.
Yeah, the dick destructor is what it should have been
Stallone
called.
is fucking great in this movie.
Yeah, he is great in this movie.
He nails it.
From the get-go,
and he actually
just starts
talks.
shooting the fans with a Tommy gun.
Just
Amazing.
everything he does is just solid gold. I love Stallone in this movie.
And he was like, it was like foreshadowing of Nick Cage because every line was either whispered or screamed.
Yes. But you could hear the words this time.
You could hear the words.
It wasn't like our previous podcast where we assumed that we wouldn't be able to understand him again, and so Sam would just...
Yeah,
He like actually enunciated in this movie. It was great.
one of my favorite Stallone performances of all time.
Absolutely. One of my favorite lines that he delivers in this movie is he's talking to his navigator, and he turns to her and says, you know, everyone else may think that you're pretty, but I think you're just a dirty baked potato. That
doesn't even make any sense.
No,
You're a big baked potato.
You're
I
a
wrote
dirty
that.
baked potato.
I wrote that down too because it's so silly.
It's golden. It's a golden line, and that's the fun part about like the Corman movies, where we first started out doing all the Globus Golan movies.
Yeah.
The lines just don't stack up to a Corman movie. There's
No,
so
they
much
don't.
to take away.
I think that's one of the things that you get with a Glenn Globus movie is that this is the script.
Yeah.
With Corman, you have this much money and this much time. I don't fucking care.
I don't fucking care. Go make a
And
movie.
then he gets more talented people usually, and so they have a good time with it. Paul Bartel probably plugged a bunch of shit into this movie on the fly. Shit like that line.
Either that or Sylvester Stallone was looking at her thinking, baked potato sounds nice for lunch. And then instead of saying dirty bitch, he was like, baked potato! Because they were getting close to a lunch break and he was like, I'm so hungry.
They're like, all right, we don't have time to reshoot that. That's golden. Let's go.
Yeah.
Move next.
Moving on.
Did they ever state her name?
No.
Bimbo with diamonds.
Baked potato.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Dirty
silly
baked potato.
jewelry, I love Anne's
Ring pop?
ring pop.
Oh, that thing was huge. It was like,
It was a crystal ball on a ring.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, she's getting attacked by Sylvester Stallone. I'm like, oh, just club him with that thing. He will go fucking down.
that's what I was thinking too.
You're wearing a globe on your fist. Just bonk him with it. It's all over. Lights out.
So speaking of that, I think that was kind of the most disappointing thing in the movie for me because you've got Rocky versus Kung Fu in a fist fight, and it was
Rocky
all-
gets his ass kicked.
It was
And
all, it was
it has
all
an
right.
obvious
He gets
face
his
and
ass
stunt
kicked,
double.
But he's
Yeah.
also supposed to be a bionic man.
Yes,
So-
he's
Yeah,
robotic.
Kung Fu guy's supposed to be
Basic
bionic.
hits really delivered.
And, Sylvester Stallone's character in this movie really was just this, like, pristine dressed,
Yeah, but I've seen
I kill people in my car kind of guy. Like, not really like, Adrian, I did it!
He shoots people. His name is Machine Gun.
Right.
Yeah,
Not
he's got a,
fisticuffs, Kelly.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sam, could you repeat the Adrian line for us so that we know what it really sounds like?
what are you doing for the next 30, 40 years? But yeah, he's like got that gangster thing going or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. Tommy Gun.
And then he's going to force Stallone's head on the knife in the front of his car, and it gives a very clear view that this is obviously a piece of wood that's painted.
Right.
And it seemed like his head took a piece of the tip of it off. Like the tip of the knife had some extra paint, and after they did that, some of it came off.
I love the dinner scene where Stallone's just got clam sauce all over his face.
That is
And he's just
awesome.
finger feeding.
That's how you eat in the future.
Absolutely.
Fuck forks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's for the French.
Fuck napkins.
And
That's
once
something the
again,
French would use.
there comes the violin.
I'm surprised he
playing
even
during
uses
the dinner.
hands. Oh yeah.
That's a
Get rid of that piece of shit.
Yeah.
And before the dinner, they had like a groovy dance party.
Yeah.
Fucking groovy and like
But only the women were
Well, it's
dancing.
only them dancing.
And I remember this because the first time I watched it, I was kind of like, I felt like they shouldn't have killed Calamity Jane. They should have just wrecked her car or something
Right,
like
right,
that.
right.
Because She seems like kind of a bitch, but then in that she's just kind of like dancing and having a good time.
I hate the fact that they kill any of the racers. I love every single one of them.
But then, like, later on, she's like, oh, it's been groovy racing with you. People are like, you know what? She just likes to be groovy.
Yeah, you're all right.
You're all right.
It's all groove.
You want to have a barbecue after this race, Calamity?
Oh, I bet she
And
would be a hell of a
thinking
time.
she was
Maybe
going to
play some
make
pinball.
out, you know? She was going to miss the death trap.
Oh, yeah,
set
they
for
made
her.
you wait for that fucking landmine thing.
Those 3-point turnabouts.
That was like a nine. That was like a
Time.
9-point turnabout.
Wow.
Why is every explosive device in this movie painted silver?
Because
That is
That's
true.
Alex Silver.
got to be obviously like they're just telegraphing that they're explosive devices
Yeah.
for you, so you can't get confused that it's not a baked potato.
That's right.
The
dirty baked
the hand grenade has an actual grenade in it. It can just look like a hand and still blow up.
Yeah,
You know?
Exactly.
the double entendre of the hand grenade.
Grenade.
Yeah,
Oh,
awesome.
God.
Oh my god, it's just such a good flick. Like so much fun. Love it. Yeah.
So the Operation Anti-Race,
Mm-hmm.
led by the school
Resistance.
marm, who like takes off her trench coat and is now wearing a 1920s school marm outfit.
Virginia Payne.
She looks like a librarian.
Yeah, and it's like,
And she talks like an English person. What was up with that?
yeah, like you're supposed to be leading this resistance. You look like somebody that would shake a stick at somebody and be like, "You get off my yard!"
Damn teenagers.
I know,
Teenagers.
not like I'm gonna rule this motherfucker. It was
you-
just like,
Could you imagine French teenagers?
Oh.
Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
She wasn't a very good leader, though, because all the people under her kept doing their own thing.
Yeah, and she's
Yeah.
like, I don't support this. Now go do it.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
Which is it, lady?
I like
she's got dementia.
I like Lieutenant Fury. I think he's a fun character.
Is that the guy's
yeah,
name?
Lieutenant Fury?
That guy was easily the gleaming. He was like a shining beacon of horrible acting.
Oh yeah,
Like everybody else does a really good job considering. He just blows it on every
Yep.
fucking line.
Yep, and it's great. It's great.
he's like, I
his
won this
outfits.
part from a poker game.
Yeah, the corduroy pants that are just like crushing his balls.
And the giant fluffy hat.
Yeah,
It's like half of a chef's hat.
I can see by your outfit that you're getting ready for your mission. As he puts on that giant, like, wide brim hat.
Yeah, what is that hat?
Everybody
What
is
that?
resist-
It's like a Dawn with the Wind hat,
Yeah.
and he's like, I'm gonna be a lady. And you're
Kinda.
kind of like, and then you see him when they get to this lady hat plan, and he's dressed like a 1920s lady with this great big wide brimmed hat on, with the the silk and everything flowing in the wind. And then they do a close up of him, and he's got a fucking beard, and he's got makeup on, like the beard. I'm so glad that you bothered to put on lipstick and
Yeah, all this
eyeliner
other
and everything.
shit.
There's a lot of Wile E. Coyote shit in this movie.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, because like the beard wasn't going to give you away. It was a good thing that your back was towards the road.
In
they're
fact,
going 200 miles an hour.
I think the Resistance
Yeah.
is headquartered at Acme
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Manufacturing.
Yeah.
Because their next kill attempt was like, wah, wah.
No, it wasn't an attempt. They fucking
Yeah, they
killed
got-
Matilda the Hun.
No, they got the Nazi
no.
swastika sweetheart. They got
was
her.
the best
with
assassination.
the fake door
The
or the fake tunnel.
Fake tunnel.
Fake tunnel.
Yeah,
Stood up on sticks, single ply
She
wood.
drove into you going 80 miles an hour.
Yep,
and drove
right
out
off a
going
cliff.
10.
I
Yeah.
love that's one of my favorite shots in the whole movie. Is just right before she goes over the cliff, you just see her go, and then over the cliff. I was like, that's actually like a really nice shot. Like it's the whole fucking movie's edited well.
Yeah.
It's a really actually it's a quality film.
What was my first comment when we finished watching this film is I turned to everybody and I go, this really isn't a stinker movie. I really thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Like, it was fun.
It is fun.
And then they're like, no, this movie was a suckfest, but it was entertaining,
I love
so
it.
you loved
It's charming,
Yeah.
but boy, it's not a good movie.
Well, yeah, the acting's fucking terrible.
I loved it.
and
The plot.
The plot's
There
so
is no
stupid.
plot.
There's
Like
no plot.
our normal podcast is to talk about the plot of a movie. We can't
No, we
because
can't.
it's race, tits, president. That's the fucking plot.
That's it.
Yep.
And really, there's not enough racers.
Actually,
And there's
race,
not enough
death,
tits in this movie. Like,
Money again.
okay,
Money
so
again,
everybody was like talking this up, like, oh, there's all their boobs in this movie, blah blah blah. So I was expecting some great, fantastic fucking.
There's
It was an
four
alarming
sets
amount
of
of.
cans.
It was an alarming
Four
amount of.
sets. It's not a whole bunch of tits. I
There's-
was kind of disappointed. I'm like,
There's
where is
four
the sex
women
scenes
in
this?
the movie. There's 5 women in the movie.
I know, but like I was like expecting some like super raunchy 70s sex scenes and like
There wasn't time
like
for that.
all those boobs, and I'm like, oh.
I don't even like.
It's a contortionist kiss.
I
and
actually
then fade to the next race.
I don't like sex scenes.
You go to see Carradine's butt fro. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Sex scenes are
Fine.
awkward to me. I don't like viewing them. It's just
I like viewing them with a room full of people and being like, who else is uncomfortable? Because I'm not. I'm just staring at everybody else thinking you're uncomfortable.
It's like the other thing I never got was like when you're 18 or 19 and you can now buy porn, and so you get a bunch of dudes in a room to watch a porno.
Like, wait a second, this is not what I need to be doing.
Again, what high school did you go to?
I said 18, 19. You never, no, that never happened to you?
No, when I went to the U of I, and the fraternity houses had like porn Wednesday or porn Thursdays.
Chicken and porn Tuesdays or something like that. Well, I don't know what movie that is, but...
Everybody got like their fast food, and then they all crammed into somebody's room.
Yeah, you're
and you watched a porn on some shitty TV, and I would always be in the back snickering and laughing because I thought it was funny. And all these dudes are like covering, like, they had their binders from when they were 13, and they've gone all over their privates.
Like,
I do not wear sweatpants.
I do not need a trapper keeper in college, but I do need a trapper keeper on porn night.
It's a boner keeper.
It's a boner keeper, and you're just kind of like back there eating your freaking Jack in the Box tacos.
And there's
and
so many people
you're
crammed
really
into the room that
it starts to smell.
It smells, but everybody is touching each other. You can't avoid touching each other because there's just not enough places to sit. So you have a boner, and you're rubbing your buddy's leg with your own leg.
It's true.
It is not
I only
cool.
did it twice, and then I was like, this is so retarded.
Yeah.
Teenagers today are so much luckier because, they can just stream it onto their smartphones. They can just stay in their dorm room bed, maybe pull the sheet over with a flashlight. I don't know, but they don't have to careen around a TV with multiple dudes. It's like, dude, I can just stream this onto my phone. I have my own little porn session here before I get out of bed. It's not like, there's only one TV in this frat house and it's right in Jim's room.
Yeah, so I don't know what you're complaining about in this movie because I think it's the proper usage of cans. Every scene is silly. Where there's cans, the scene is silly.
Their cans should have been flopping in the wind.
Like the bouncy lady at the end of Teen Witch.
Yeah.
They should have had him drive topless.
It's no Malibu
My navigator
Express.
doesn't wear a shirt.
No, it is not Malibu Express.
And that's probably maybe the problem is that you had been exposed to Malibu Express before this movie. So
I haven't seen Malibu Express.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, you have.
No, I haven't.
The
Cody Abilene
and the red DeLorean and the Buffingtons. Yes, you have. I made you watch it.
No, I do not remember.
Yeah,
I do not recall.
I was sitting there. We all watched it together.
Your memory's really
I brought
short.
it over.
That's number 6 on the Hall of Fame for me.
I blame
It's right behind this one.
I blame the fridge too.
And that's a great usage. That's just like, it's been 2 minutes. Tits. Put them on screen. And never really any, there's like some sex scenes, but not really. It's just like, just get your tits out.
Yep.
We're going to do the scene like normal, but your tits are going to be
You're
out.
going to save this man's life by showing your cans.
By showing your cans.
Yeah, great fun. I love silly boob usage. And
Silly
I think
boob usage is the fucking shower scene where the gal's looking at the camera the whole time. She's like, wow. I remember the first time I saw it, I call Roman on the phone because it's one of his favorite movies. And I was like, dude, the shower scene is like, dude, the shower scene is hot.
Oh my god.
She was a Playboy playmate, just so you know.
And Penthouse, yeah.
Yeah.
She got around.
But we're talking about a different movie now. None of the actresses, except for Calamity Jane, because she was a Corman staple. She went on to be in Hollywood Boulevard and Big Dollhouse, Birdcage. Is it? No, not Birdcage, but the
Big
Pam
Dollhouse.
Grier.
That's the Birdcage. They're both Pam Grier movies.
What's the other one? There's the. Is it called the Birdcage?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Birdcage, the Big Dollhouse, and then what's the Foxy Brown? Is it Foxy Brown?
I think it's Foxy Brown. Yeah, but she goes on to do stuff. But the Machine Joe, the Turbo,
she's
navigator,
in a lot of stuff.
I never saw her in anything else. I can't think of anything else.
She's a secretary on a TV show, like from the 80s. I can't remember. I know that she's been in stuff.
Huh. Well, she didn't go on to be a Corman staple chick.
No. She went on to TV, and so did Simone Griffith, the female lead. And she doesn't go on to do TV like, I'm going to be a star of a TV show. She goes on to be in one episode of Magnum, one episode of Silent Assignment, one episode of...
What about Matilda the Hun?
I didn't see what the hell the deal with her was.
She was fun. Why not more of her?
Yeah, she was
She's
pretty
fun,
too.
pretty.
She was real pretty, yeah. She
Yeah.
was some grade A B cups.
And then we barely got any of Nero the Hero's navigator.
And she had
died
some
real
big
quick.
cans. Like, you only get, like, some... There's, like, one shot where it just opens up and you can see a little nip, but those ones never... She dies too fast
Yeah,
before
she
you
dies
get those
too
ones
fast.
out.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, if I could do it over again, I would let all of them win. I love all of the racers. Such characters. I love characters. So obviously, I'm pretty sure that it's a rousing success.
What?
Raving success.
Raging? I don't know.
Raging success. Yeah, let's use raging success.
Overwhelming success.
Overwhelming success. I'm pretty sure. Well, I maybe I shouldn't assume, but I recommend it. I recommend everybody in the country see this movie.
This is a staple. If you like bad movies, I mean, people have probably just listened to this without watching it because shit, they've already seen it 3 times.
Right.
If they're listening
Right.
to this, you've seen this movie 3, 4 times, maybe 10 times.
Anybody else? Anybody going to argue?
Oh, no, do it.
Nope. Great movie.
Nope, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a piece of.
If you're
piece
not,
of
you're a
history.
dirty baked potato.
I would.
That's right.
That's right.
I'd love to get my hands on that goddamn monster. That'd be a hoot. Driving that around town, because I mean, there can't be that many miles on it.
Because there would be like, people are like, what the fuck is that? There'd be
Yeah,
one
but
guy
they
that'd just be
drove
like,
across country.
you rock!
Rock! so much. Like jump in front of you and then dive out of the way. Giving you thumbs up the entire time.
How's your hand grenade?
Yeah, love it. So on that bombshell, what do we got? What do we got coming next? It's your pick.
Yeah,
Or
it's
no, it's
not
Sam's
my
pick.
pick. And I
Sam's
was
pick.
going to say Universal Soldier, but she wants that for her.
No, you can have it.
No, I think...
No, I wouldn't want to get in the way because I still have girls just want to have fun.
Yeah, but then you would be doing back-to-back 80s chickie movies.
Well, I will find something else.
I was like, kind of wanting to do it, and there's another film that I wanted to do more.
I've been putting
Unfortunately.
some gems on
Well,
Netflix.
Here's what I wanted to do,
You're
actually.
gonna roll the dice again with another bending the rules.
Oh yeah, I am.
That's terrible. Well, no, because I was half on the fence with that, but I think that what is it with Steven Seagal, the prison movie, Half Past Dead.
Oh yeah, Half Past Dead. We haven't done that yet. That's
So
a good pick.
I think that's going to be next week is Half Past Dead, and you can have Universal Soldier whenever you want it.
That'd be fun.
Okay, well, there's been no singing in this, so I'm just gonna do this real quick. Girls on film, show your boobies. Girls on film.
Love that track. That's a good track. On that bombshell, get to the chopper. Mark, you want to say it? Give us a get to the chopper. Give us
Get to the chopper!
That's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Chris, you want to take it a champ? Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper!
Also good. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll catch you guys next time.